to the Duffell channel. Please like and subscribe and like and leave comments and comment about leaving subscriptions and things like that. That didn't make any sense. Hi, how are you all doing? Welcome back to the Duffell channel. Updating you on what's happening in season 4, the exciting videos that we're producing, and some of the more exciting topics for debate. The videos we're doing at the moment, said we're working on the second genre prosecution video. Well, it's not the video, we're still working on the song, which is still kind of the musical. A lot of the large part of the music's finished, and the lyrics have actually been finished. It's just fitting the two together now. The next video, which is Spooky Mid or Come Home. No, it's not Come Home. It's Spooky Mid, which is the Stay and Soul. Which I've got some more video footage for that, so the video is ready to be shot because the song's already done and dusted. Yeah, we're shooting some more next week. So looking forward to producing the video, and that should be with us sooner than anything else. But in the meantime, the genre prosecution is doing brilliantly. It's got 4,490 views, and we have now got 717 subscribers, which is actually down. I think we had 736 last time, so we're losing subscriptions, which is interesting. Don't know why. But this is since the promotion that we've done with YouTube. It's interesting, still following the figures closely to see if they make a difference, or because even though we've had 4,490 views of the genre prosecution, we've only had the Runaways 585, which is good, and the Beast has got 363, which is good, and Come Home's got 277. But nothing else seems to have changed with these with the channel. The views, considering we've got 717 subscribers, that figure may change again. We'll see. Hey, it's just the joys of having a YouTube channel with lots of videos on. We'll see what happens with that anyway. Said the Spooky Mid, the Stay and Soul, and produced in a collection of songs, I said, and one of the people made a comment like, "Will we produce an album?" I'm thinking about it still, not 100% sure, but we've got an album name that we call the Cedars of Lebanon. I think that's a brilliant album name. It sounds very 80s, and 80s rock band name, so if you like it, let us know. The Cedars of Lebanon. It's in Isaiah somewhere in the Bible, and when I read it, I just thought it sounded cool and sounded very rocky. The Cedars of Lebanon. Oh yeah. What else is it? The last video that said, the last video said the government was pushing EVs because of climate change and an agenda conspiracy theory. Which is that the climate's being changed by human interaction, which doesn't no scientific evidence of that. Climate change is real and it is happening, but if we're doing that just by existing and living our days, and the use of fossil fuels, which again, these things are said because oil, because they're pointing directly at oil as being a fossil fuel, which oil is not a fossil fuel. Oil is a mineral, and it's things like that I find very frustrating, and that we're being fed pure manure on these issues. But another part of these issues is electric vehicles, because if we all change over to electric vehicles, this will bring our carbon emissions down. Our carbon footprint will be lessened somehow. Again, this is all the psychobabble of the I don't know what it even means, a carbon footprint. It's just nonsense. So I'm not declaring climate change does happen, and it's going to happen. It falls in line with scripture in this sense. the Lord says in the end times, Jesus said that things are going to get rough weather-wise. Climate change is coming, but there's nothing we can do about it. It's in the Bible, so we've got to go through that. But it does say the seasons won't fail us as well. So, and that's another biblical promise. The seasons won't fail us. So even though we're going to go through climate change, it's not going to change enough that we're going to lose the seasons. Also, Christ is going to reign from Israel. In Jerusalem for 1,000 years, and I believe that'll be happening soon, because these are facts I'm talking about. Jesus is real, and he is coming back, and he's going to rule for 1,000 years. That's what it says in the Bible. So the climate's not going to be massively different, and it will change, I said, but it's Christ is there's not going to be an big devastating in 2030, I think, is prediction of climate change is going to be one of an event that's going to wipe us all out, or an event because the planet's supposedly hotting up, considering we're going through probably one of the coldest Mays on record. Absolutely appalling. I'm still having to light fires, it's that cold. Anyway, but yeah, the planet's hotting up because of what we're doing. Supposedly, it's absolutely, yeah. Anyway, that's my take. I know there's a lot of people out there that do genuinely believe that there is a climate emergency, and that we're all going to have a horrible disaster somewhere around if we don't stop eating cows, or is it something? I don't know what it is now. We don't stop doing something, but part of that is electric vehicles. We want to stop using fossil fuels, because they will all die. Sorry. Yeah, but it is people are genuinely scared and fearful of these predictions that are made by computers, weather computers, that say these events are taking place, and these simulations on these big powerful computers. I mean, it's been on GB News this week. They can't agree with each other. They can't get their weather right next week, let alone what's going to happen in 2030. It's just, yeah, sorry. I just find it very infuriating. But anyway, from that comment that I made last week, there was one of our subscribers, Luke, he made a comment. He says, the government aren't pushing electric cars. If anything, they're pushing away. Debates and discussions on these topics would be great. So I think I'm going to have a look, basically, a bit more electric cars, and the kind of, I think, how the government pushing, maybe. I do think they have an agenda of trying to. I mean, what's the government says? Let's say 80% of new cars and 70% of new vans sold in Great Britain set to be zero emissions by 2030, increasing to 100% by 2035. That's a huge undertaking, massive undertaking that they've got. They've set themselves this goal, and drive to electric vehicle has been backed by over £2 billion of government invested money, supporting this economic growth and supporting thousands of jobs in the industry, which is all very well and good. But again, the electric car industry has, again, Luke had made the point that the government at the moment seems to be pushing away, because electric cars has presented some issues. The lithium batteries and the mining of these materials is incredibly dangerous and incredibly expensive. I think it's lithium that's probably one of the most expensive materials on the face of the planet right now. Also, another logistics bod pointed out that if everybody drove home in their electric car after and had the tea and plugged the new electric vehicle into the mains, the whole electric system would crash, because the infrastructure can't support that kind of electric use. Even now, if you find these electric stations, you'll generally find they're powered by diesel generators, which is totally, it's defeating the object of what they're there in the first place, if that's what you believe. I do think it is a agenda, a climate agenda. I do think that, I think Luke might be right. They are pulling away from the one, but they still have to be seen to be pushing, because that's a pretty tall mandate, to be honest. By 2035, all new production of cars in this country will be totally electric, and that's all they'll be selling and pushing, basically forcing us virtually into buying these vehicles. Instead of petrol or diesel or other variants, hydrogen cars, for instance, like that, something like that. I think that'd be a much better way to go. Personally, hydrogen cars, if we're going to change the vehicles and how, well, because petrol's still a viable means. Oil isn't running out. I can remember, this is one of the climate people were telling me when I was at school back in the 1980s. They were telling me that we were heading for the next ice age. Hey, they got that wrong, and all fossil fuels would run out by the year 2000. Yeah, that was they got that wrong as well. So yeah, so it's interesting to see that how the government's pushing forwards and backwards with this kind of. I do think it's an agenda. I do think that they are being pushed into forcing this agenda upon us. The reality of it, I don't know. It's but it's in a massive thing. I think we're leading the world now. This country is leading its world in its switch over to EVs, which that's just EVs. They're called ZEVs now. It's not just electric vehicles. That means zero emission vehicles, ZEVs. Yeah. And this country's got the most ambitious regulatory framework to switch electric vehicles in the world, that's another statement there I've just read. Petrol vehicles in this country, there's 18 million of them. Diesel vehicles in this country, there's 11 million of them. And we've got approximately 2 million of the EVs, electric vehicles, or zero emission vehicles at the moment. That's still a heck of a lot of vehicles to try and get off the road and persuade, and they're still in production at the moment, so, and still by far more popular than electric vehicles. There's lots of safety issues of vehicles, batteries exploding, electric fires which can't be put out, not by conventional means anyway, in the sense of water, a whole different system of putting fires out, and it's understandably people are scared of that kind of problem. And the logistics issues as well. Also, I feel that there's a commercial rhetoric going on at the moment, which electric cars aren't exciting. Electric cars or electricity can excite us as anymore. Can't excite us anymore. And then it's this kind of and what else is it? Yeah, it's electricity isn't exciting. It isn't exciting, and it's just, and they're trying to make electric cars exciting, and they're not. Tradition. They're trying. Yeah. Tradition belongs in the past. That's another suggesting electricity is a tradition that we need to remember, and it's like it's not. Electricity can't really excite us anymore, and it's not a tradition that we need to remember. Electricity is just electricity, but these are the kind of things that we're being told. So yeah, tradition belongs in the past. Leave it there. Electric cars aren't that exciting. Yeah. And electricity can't excite us anymore. Yeah. All electric can't handle tough conditions. I mean, that's something I've heard. It is electric cars can't do 4x4 off-roading. Again, I think that's just an opinion thing. Depending on the rigidity of the body, with the structure of the batteries being so huge, making it difficult for. I think it's a design issue rather than that electric car can't handle tough conditions. And it's a kind of electricity can make us progress even further. Or progress can't progress further because that's a silly statement in itself. Because progress is a job of the human being and the human ingenuity to push things forward, not electric cars. Yeah, and it's what you say and it's what you do that counts, and it's the integrity and truth of you talk the talk and you walk the walk. You know what I mean? It's what you say and what you do are really important in this world, and I don't think that's been reflected in the electric car industry. Right, hang on, we have this coming through now.
Who said electricity can't excite us anymore?
Hang on, that was me. Yeah. I just said that he said electric cars can't excite. That was me. I said electric. I just said it a few minutes ago. It's not exciting. It says electricity can't be explained by science. It can't be explained by the theory of evolution or anything like that. This statement suggests that we are once excited by electricity and that we have lost that excitement and affection for electricity, and for some reason we want to be excited by electricity again. We may be excited by the results of electricity. We might enjoy the television coming on. We might enjoy watching the kettle boil. But no, sorry, it's just not that exciting. Yeah, let's move on. Yeah.
Who said tradition belongs in the past?
Hang on a minute. I just said that a few minutes ago. I thought, before I said it's tradition. Traditionally always is in the past. Traditions are always in the past. It's something that we've done on our own, or we've done as part of community. It's something that we wish to remember or reenact, or to enforce a commitment or a belief in a way of life. These traditions are for, and they're generally in the past and remembering from the past. So if traditions are going to be in the future, it's up to us for us to keep them alive by keeping them in the past, so we can, whatever. Moving on.
Who said all electric can't handle tough conditions?
Yeah, just said that. That's what. Who said electric cars can't handle tough conditions? And I said design thing about sports engineering, but I don't think at the moment they're not. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm sure with a bit of over engineering they could sort these engine issues out. Anyway, moving on.
Who said progress can't progress further?
Who said progress can't progress further? Well, that was me. I think that's a silly statement in itself, really. Progress can't progress further. Because progress can't progress further because progress is just a word that's used to describe something that's been moved forward or stayed where it is. It hasn't progressed, it's stayed, really. To say progress can't progress is just stupidity, really. It's just a silly statement. Yeah, anyway. Moving on. Let's see what we're up to.
Well, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Oh, where? Isn't that interesting? Yeah. It says it's not what you say, it's what you do. well, that's a bit inconsistent, and there's no integrity in that statement, really, is it? It says it is what you do and what you say at the same time. It's kind of both. It's important to say what you do, what you say can somehow into there can show intent, I suppose. What you say shows intent, therefore will reflect in what you do. So that they kind of merge together, what you say and what you do. And then it shows the truth and it shows integrity. So yeah, so it's what you say and what you do is important. And yeah, so thank you for that. Whatever, yeah, that was brilliant. So thank you for watching this episode of the Andy Duffell channel. Again, we'll be bringing more hot topics next time, hopefully, and just showing the what I believe is the truth of the world that's going on in the moment. Hopefully, there's one thing I want to try. I don't know. It's go live maybe sometime. Go live and have you guys commenting back and having conversations on what you think and what I'm saying and what you believe is going on with the climate and the climate hysterical kind of rhetoric that's going around about climate change at the moment. Now that what it says in the Bible about that, again, I've done stuff like this before. Other issues to discuss though, plenty to discuss out there. We're living in a mad world at the moment. There's plenty going on in our communities, and the immigration, that's another big thing at the moment. That's something I maybe want to cover soon. Or it's not immigration, it's illegal immigration, I think is the difference. But there's other topics, and I said there's still a massive of transgender people, a big issue that's kind of discussed and not discussed and hushed. The transgender issue, which is, again, it's another incredible, I think it's a bizarre movement, kind of all over the place at the moment, and people trying to rationalise that men can be women and women can be men. That's a lie. They can't. They either, if they're born a man, they are a man, and if they're born a woman, they are a woman. If they believe they're one or the other and they want to be the other gender, that means they have mental issues and they need to seek medical help. And that's the only thing you can come to a conclusion with that. And also there's another big issues out there. It's still the sex wars. The war between sexes is more insane at the moment as it is I've ever seen it. Again, women thinking they can be men and do what men can do, and men trying to be women. It's all that kind of same thing. It's all kind of gone a bit insane at the moment. Men, I've seen on YouTube women trying to fight men, because they believe they're as strong as men, and it's not true. And men, well, men need to grow up here. They really do, and start looking after women properly and being responsible heads of the household and stuff like that. But again, that's another thing we could debate and go on about. I could go on for ages. So yeah, thanks for watching this episode of the Andy Duffell channel. Hope you enjoyed it. Next time we'll hopefully have the Spooky Mid, what's it called, the Stencil video production and Ready to Rock and Roll, and that'll be another debate there. But again, that'll be, I want to push that again. It's about sex and the genders of male and female, the two, and how they treat each other, and sex and the responsibility of men and women in that, and because sex isn't just a recreational thing, it's pretty serious stuff, and it affects us dramatically in some ways. Yeah, so we've got to look at it responsibly. But again, we'll discuss that another time with this video. Again, I will finish. Yeah, so thank you again for watching, and have a really good week. God bless you, and well, pray the truth of Jesus into your lives. Amen. Well, thank you for watching, and talk again soon.